Hey guys, how's it going? John Anderson here from Supplicant Grand Prairie. Largest selection, lowest prices. I'm here to introduce you guys today to the We Buy Businesses podcast. It's a podcast I've been following for a while now and really got some good value out of it. I mean, anything you can take and learn and avoid to avoid a lot of money and waste time and stress and headache, the more the better. So we're all in this together. Tell your friends, tell everybody, tell your dog, tell a stranger. Let's get this thing going. Let's get it bumping. Let's make it big. Let's fire it up. Let's talk business. Over to you guys.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the funky edition, because we have Colby Dietz here now. He's like the funkiest guy I know. Episode number 10 of the Process Podcast. Okay, so let's get started. This is the first time we've actually had Colby on the podcast, so that's good. You know, 10 episodes in. Sounds
excited to be
right.
here.
Yeah. So right on. So moving forward, Colby's an important part of the team. The three of us purchased Blastaway 3 years ago.
Coming up on 3 years, yeah.
Yeah, it's
Pretty
fourth
close,
year now. You actually shared a post of you quitting your job.
That was
Is
3
that-
years ago yesterday.
Yeah,
The two of us, we quit on the same day.
yeah. Weren't
Worked
you
for
in,
the same company.
Showed them.
Yeah.
weren't you in line for like a gold watch too or something? Like
Yeah, I never
literally
did
like
get
a
it.
couple weeks out.
Yeah, I just made 5 years at the company.
Huh.
And then I quit, and then they never gave me my watch.
Jeez, sacrifice to
Yep.
be an entrepreneur.
That's right.
Ditched a gold watch for
Well, it was silver, it wasn't gold.
oh, that's not as impressive.
I got my watch.
Oh. So Colby handles a lot of our sales, and he's I find, this is my opinion, Colby's way more detailed than us. Like me and Sheldon, we struggle with like the little fine details and paperwork and shit. So, for example, a vendor just sent this big, massive 100-page document, and the first thing I thought was, fucking Colby should read this shit. So Colby's more the detailed guy, and the three of us, you know, so we bought Blastaway 3 years ago, and I feel, and we always say this, we've said this over the last couple of years, that if it was just one of us, or even just two of us, if we just didn't have the three of us, it wouldn't be as successful. It might even be a complete failure. You know, if it was just me,
definitely,
Blastaway probably would have went
Yeah.
under for sure. So, Colby, why did you ditch the silver watch? Well,
Sorry, that was me.
that was Sheldon's fault. So that 10 seconds of silence was completely on Sheldon. So Colby, try and be as like Colby's a pretty dry guy. You know, just be patient with him. He's pretty boring sometimes. But you want to explain just your background?
Yeah, my background definitely. I came from a well servicing background. I spent almost 11 years with the same company. Worked my way up through the engineering department, operations department. Spent some time in downtown Calgary as well in operations, and I worked my way back to district managing up here in Grande Prairie.
I razz him. He's not boring, but I like to just try and poke him as much as possible because I want these two guys to kind of make some jabs at me. That's what I'm trying to do. Is like, you know, kind of bait him a little bit. It's not working so far. But anyway, so Colby, would you say like, and you can be honest here. You can say like, fuck, this 3 years has been bullshit. I'm out. See ya. But like, on a scale of 1 to 10, like, is this kind of what you thought it would be, or you?
Oh, absolutely, absolutely. The whole experience so far in the 3 years with you guys and the grind has been definitely what I thought it was going to be, along with some surprises and lessons learned along the way as well, right? I mean, it's definitely been an amazing experience, an eye-opening experience, and I look forward to many more challenges ahead, right, with the different opportunities that we get presented in front of us.
My whole goal with this podcast was to have Colby have like 5-6 drinks in him, and then then you get like drunken loudmouth Colby, which is it's pretty good. It's pretty good.
Thanks.
Didn't so yeah, it's been great. Like the three of us, we've run a pretty large organization. Like, Blastaway is pretty large. Like with subs and employees, we could have 25, 30 people, in our facility working away, right? Depending on how busy we are and stuff like that.
20
And
to 25.
20
20's pushing it.
Yeah, okay, well, 20,
Taking
20,
taking a
25.
walk with 30.
Sure,
Yeah.
sure. But regardless, I think, again, if it was just one of the three of us in that position running the whole entity, we'd run into a lot of issues. So the reason why I bring that up is I feel that entrepreneurs don't really partner when they should. And because I have glaring weaknesses, as you guys see on a day-to-day basis, right? And I have my strengths. Like for me personally, I feel like when you throw 20 things at me and I'm focused on one thing, I could literally forget about the other 19 things. And then I get myself into fucking trouble every time, right? And so it's good to have guys around you to hold you accountable, make sure that you don't forget those 19 fucking things, and maintain your efficiency and stuff like that. So you guys do a good job of that, for sure.
Yeah, we've talked about that before. Just having good partners is crucial. Like we need the different perspectives on things, the different thought processes, and how's that gonna, what I do over here, how's that gonna screw up the next guy's job, or how's that gonna affect you, or how's that gonna affect you, and vice versa. Because unless you're living it and doing it, you don't know, and what you think might be a good decision might not be, right? So having good, open, honest conversation, people you can have difficult conversations with, or just like what the fuck conversations with, you need. Otherwise, you're gonna have some massive fucking failures along the way.
Yeah, I think that's a big one. Just accountability, the ability to have a tough conversation and try and get things back on track. Sometimes it's uncomfortable. You don't want to have that conversation.
Absolutely.
Right? I mean, we've given each other all some shit and a kick
Everything,
in the ass,
yeah.
right? And it's only been for the better. So I feel comfortable 100% if we were having a meeting and you guys were like, Chris, this is shit. Like, get your fucking shit together, right? And so, oh, okay, well, and I like to think it's the same, like it's a two-way street, right? Like,
Oh yeah, for sure.
Those
And-
conversations are definitely tough when you guys, when we spend as much time as we do with each other.
yeah.
And, we hold each other in quite high regards when you have to kind of step in and ask a little bit more, ask one of us to straighten each other out. It's difficult, but I mean, those conversations have to be had. Absolutely.
Yeah. If, for example, a good one that I like is I obviously handle the majority of the financial recording and projecting and data collection, and I'm always looking at the numbers, and you guys do a great job of going, hey, why does that number say that? And if I don't have a good explanation,
Then we grill the shit out of it. Yeah.
Absolutely.
right? And then, but the thing is, I appreciate that, and it's good because it sharpens my sword. So now the next time comes around, it's almost like, you guys push me to understand the numbers before you guys even ask the question, right? And that's kind of how I've improved over the years when I look at read-only statements and our own income statement, cash flow statement, stuff like that. Because I know you guys are going to question, hey, why does that number say that, right?
Yeah.
We
And
did it just this afternoon, like with the reporting that we did. What I already knew that you guys would say that paint expense is too low, so I already had an explanation of why it was too low, right? I didn't do that previous, so it's just
Yeah.
improvement.
Yeah, and the biggest thing that I've learned, I guess, over the last couple of years is that usually my gut is right, and sometimes, actually, a lot of the time, I can't express myself into what's wrong about it. You just kind of feel something's wrong, like that number doesn't seem right, something doesn't seem right, numbers don't jive in my head. Most of the time, they're right, but we really have to put some thought behind and like data collection and analyze some shit sometimes to figure out why. But I mean, sometimes I'm dead wrong
Yeah.
too. But usually, when your gut's telling you something, good or bad, it's usually right. You just got to put the effort in to find out why.
Yeah,
I think has been a huge.
You won't
learner.
always get the answer right
Yeah.
away, but sometimes you have to do. It takes you a day or 2 or 3 just to figure out what information you need to find to come up with that right
Yeah.
answer, right? And learn from it. Right?
Yeah.
Yeah, so with that said, what I'd like to do is start something a little new for the podcast, and that is a rapid fire segment. So, with that said, let's get to it. So, with this segment, I want to ask ridiculous questions. Okay? You guys don't like this whatsoever, but I enjoy it because I like putting you guys on the spot and trying to embarrass you. In fact, what was it? I horribly failed. We were doing, it was the fast track event. We were on stage and I was trying to poke fun. Nobody laughed at my jokes.
Hard
So-
to believe. Hard to believe nobody laughs at your jokes.
Usually,
believe.
okay, usually everyone's laughing. I'm just saying. Okay, so Colby, first question, okay? In the last 2 years, how many times have you been puked on and peed on and pooped on? Do you have a number? Is it over 50?
I would say yes, considering I've had 2 kids in the last
Yeah,
2.5
I was gonna say, I
years,
think
so
that-
the
that
context
warrants
got a little
some-
awkward
yeah.
there.
Warrant some explanation into that
Yes.
question.
Yes, just to clarify, Colby does not have a number 2 fetish.
Oh god.
This is going south.
Yes, I just had to ask that. Sheldon, is the Edmonton Oilers going to the postseason this year or next year?
How the fuck do I know? I mean,
There's the first one. How
yeah.
the fuck do I know? The first one. This is
Why the
element.
fuck would you ask that question? I'm gonna say, even though I'm an ex-Oilers fan, I'm gonna say they're probably not gonna make it. But yeah,
I don't know. I don't know. That team has baffled me for fucking years because I mean they get so many first round fucking draft picks and shit, and yet they can't ever seem to get their stuff together. And I'm a hardcore, well not hardcore, but I'm like an Oilers fan. That's the only team that I like. We grew up in close to Edmonton. Oilers were the shit when I was a kid. I had Wayne Gretzky shoes and lunchbox and everything, literally
Well,
everything.
we got a detailed answer.
So
on this one.
I do like the Oilers, but I don't know. Just ever since 06, it's a fucking crapshoot with them. You never fucking know.
So the answer is, it's a crapshoot.
Yeah.
Good job. Nice. Question number 2 for Colby. Colby, how many dirt bikes does it take to incur a broken collarbone?
1.
Fantastic.
Oh my
Oh
God.
no, I got another good one. How long does it take on a 50cc bike?
Fuck.
Hold on.
All right, no.
50cc bike, how long does it take to bike through the alleyways of Grande Prairie, one end of the town to the other?
You can do it in under 15 minutes.
Under
Paul.
15 minutes.
Yeah.
Okay.
Chris, marry, fuck, kill. Go.
I'll marry you guys. It's okay. I'm comfortable with my sexuality.
Do you know what marry, fuck, kill is? Yeah,
Who am I
people.
doing it? Oh, Brad Pitt.
You'd like to
What?
fuck Brad Pitt?
No, I thought you
What?
wasn't I asking you
What?
guys this shit?
What
You don't know if it's marry, fuck, kill. Who?
No,
Don't you have to ask the person?
I'm asking you. Who's
Who,
your,
though?
who's your marry? Who's your fucking? Who's your kill?
Oh, well, I really have to think.
Brad
about
Pitt's
that.
one of them.
Yeah.
Everybody can guess
That's on-
which
that's
one.
on-
that
Oh
is.
man,
Can't
well
get it
he's a very wealthy human being. I mean, he's got nice hair, and he can act. So I mean, I can't kill the guy. Look how nice he is. Man, I'd have to
This-
marry the guy. I mean, did you see he's a
this
good-looking
segment
guy. Sheldon's
Wow.
been joking
Epic
about
fail.
marry, fuck, kill all week. So moving forward.
No, we had to answer your questions. you owe me 2 more.
I honestly, I don't know. I don't know celebrities.
I'm
who's
just kidding.
who's that chick from Jumanji, the Jumanji movie, the redhead? There you go. Yeah. Not the one. I'm not talking about the one that turned into Jack Black. Did you guys see the movie? No.
Nope.
Okay. Great question, Sheldon.
And
In my
Star
defense,
Wipe and
in
all
my
right.
Yeah.
in my defense, I thought my questions were fantastic, and then the background music made it all the better. Fantastic. So, moving forward, with us, we're trying to buy another business and grow and remove ourselves from the day-to-day of Blastaway, and it's one of our largest challenges. And I feel like we've been successful with that, and we're kind of in an interesting place when we're looking for a second business. It's kind of got to be the right scenario, and I find more often than not, we sit down with business owners, and the scenario is way off. You need a guy to go in there and run the business, right? Or it's a job, essentially, that you're buying. Well, that's not a fit for us. We need a GM in there. That comes at a cost, and that changes the evaluation of the business. So it's a big challenge for us. We sat down with a retail company, and it's a great company. Like, net's good net dollar, good gross margin. Gross margin, I guess, wasn't the best, but the biggest reason that we avoided it was because after a general manager goes in, there's just not enough.
It's tough. It's tough to actually find a good business that is fully operational, that cash flows after debt servicing, where you don't
And
100%
management.
need, and management, and
management.
you're not just buying yourself a job.
Yeah.
It's very, very tough to find one. As we've found out, there's a lot of due diligence. You might be looking at some big numbers, like a friend of ours right now is looking at a business in BC that nets some big numbers, but percentage-wise, is it the best business? I mean, it's not really shaping up to be. For just initially,
it
we
depends on how-
ran some quick numbers,
Yeah.
like in 5 minutes or 10 minutes.
Yeah.
But I mean, it's some big numbers on paper, dollar-wise, but percentage-wise isn't the best. And after you pay yourself, himself, and debt servicing and everything like that, it's like, geez, there's not going to be a ton of money left over.
No.
And on a percentage basis, it was pretty small at the end of it. So
Yeah,
don't let the big numbers fool you either. Just because it's a big dollar amount doesn't mean it's going to cash flow or very much.
And here's the other factor with that situation. When you're over $500,000 in net, the taxable percentage goes up. And one thing you can do to avoid that is salary yourself and put the company under $500,000. That's an easiest way to do it. But what if your debt servicing is so high that you literally can't do that?
Mm-hmm.
So
well,
now,
and that's
that
was.
situation, yeah.
Yeah.
And so it bumps your tax rate up to it more than doubles your tax percentage on those net dollars. And then you're thinking, oh, well, look at how much is left over after debt servicing and pay myself or a GM. Look at all this. Well, no, because of the increase in the percentage of the tax rate, you're actually losing money. You're going to be in a negative cash flow position, assuming your AR is quick.
Yeah.
Right?
And in that scenario, too, he was wanting to bring in investors potentially. Like, how are you going to pay your investors back? All that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
Are they getting equity of the profits, or are they getting a percentage amount?
Yeah.
Like, you factor all that in, and it's going to be, even though,
It's
like I said,
tough.
big dollar is going to
Yeah.
be a tight one. So I'm really hoping that it works out for him, and I'm interested to see. But yeah, it's tough, really tough to find a good business to buy.
Yeah, it is in a way similar to real estate for allocating funds to purchase the asset, and in a way it's not, because there is a way where you can get 100% financing on a business. We've done it, right? There is a way, but it's really hard, especially if you have to pay for a GM on top of the earnings, to still have, after you pay taxes and everything else, to still have a positive cash flow number at the end of the day.
Well, and that's why you got to put in your time, grind it out for a couple of years, pay down some debts, get some cash flow going, stuff like that. And it's a real delicate balance to do all of that stuff and maintain a healthy business.
But it is possible. It's just
It is
it's
absolutely
far more
possible. Just
difficult.
time.
It's a harder asset to find.
Yeah,
Right. Yep.
and time and patience, which is something we struggle with sometimes. We want everything done now,
Yeah.
and we want to, do this now and take the next step now and whatever. But sometimes you just can't. You just got to put in your time and grind it out.
Well, you guys always push me, keep me from jumping off the edge all the time, because I'm like, oh, all we need is blank. Let's just throw blank over here, and it'll open up this cash flow, and then we'll hire. And you're like, hold on, wait a second.
And
hold
they're all
Strategy.
on.
great creative ideas,
Yes.
right? Absolutely,
yeah.
great creative ideas.
Strategy.
But we have different backgrounds, right? And that's the importance of the team. What we can all bring together is a different
Yeah.
perspectives, right, on how we can strategize to do those type of things properly.
Well, we had a good conversation this morning about potential strategy, depending on how the next, 4 to 6 months go. What's our strategy going to look like depending on, options A, B, or C? But we have to have options figured out now so that we know, ahead of time, if X happens, then we do this. If this happens, then we do that. And, there's still a lot of debate about which is the best way to play it out. So, it's good conversations to have.
Yeah, absolutely. So with that said, we're literally just hitting the 20-minute mark. So what we're going to do, we're going to have a second part here. We'll elaborate more on maybe the leverage to purchase a business. Oh,
Wait, I can't wait to hear more of your second installment of crazy questions here.
yes.
I can't wait.
And then just randomly marry, fuck, kill, confuse the shit out of me. How about that? And moving forward, I also want to talk about how we got into purchasing Blastaway too on the second one. So watch the second one. Again, Colby Dietz, the Process Podcast, number 10, with the coolest music, period. This was the funkiest episode.
I think
ever.
I'm fucking firing you from running all of this shit. That's what I'm doing.
Excellent. Okay, take care, guys.